Halo, the show apparently gamers hate. But we're not gamers in that way, at least for that game. So, what did we think of episode 2 of Halo? You gotta stay tuned. I'm not going to the bathroom today, everybody.
That's a new intro.
So I watched Halo.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Halo 1, Halo episode 2.
Yeah.
And I heard so many people, this is not Master Chief, and this is not the story of the games, and this is not this and not that. But I'm not looking at this as, this is not the story of the game. I'm looking at this as, hey, this is a television show, and I'm thinking along the lines of like Battlestar Galactica, a show that'll just go on like that, right? A little adventure, get to know the characters, and these are now the characters. Mm-hmm. I don't have that preconceived notion of who Master Chief is, because I never played the video game.
I was reading some reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, or IMDb, one of them, and you have 8, 9, 10 out of 10, and you have 1, 2, 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
And the gamers that are saying that this is a 1 out of 10, they're saying, I don't like how he keeps his helmet off all the time. I don't like how there's a human in the Covenant, because these are not part of the game.
Yeah.
Right.
But watch the show. Are you enjoying the show?
Yeah. If you want to play the game, by all means, go play the game.
I'm watching this cooking show as an example. And I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Okay. It's about, do we want to invest in this person to make a restaurant? And these 3 guys have Cuban-inspired food. One person was in Cuba for a week or something like that. The other 2 never been to Cuba. Okay. This is their take on Cuban food. And so the investors have to decide, is this food really good? And one of the investors says, I'm not going to invest because none of you are Cuban, you've never been to Cuba, so this isn't really authentic. But is it Cuban food that you can invest in, right?
Right, yeah.
So does this have to be line for line like in the video game, or can it be Halo inspired?
Which is what I think that it's meant to be, is Halo inspired.
But is that okay? Are you allowed to do that as a creator? Because this was obviously made for Halo fans, because why make Halo if it's not for Halo fans?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a world. It's an already pre-built world that you can easily write a show about. Because it's in the games. You could easily write a World of Warcraft show if you wanted to. No, they wrote a movie.
Well, a movie.
They tried to do too much, but that's another story. I think that if you go into this and just say, this is a sci-fi show, will you like it? What did you think of episode 2?
I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was great. He finally left Baby Yoda behind, so that's good.
Yeah, you can see some parallels there.
Yeah. So, but
like if Pedro Pascal ever gets too much, they could use this guy for the Mandalorian. His voice is the same.
Yeah, they could, as long as he doesn't take off the helmet.
Well, I don't mind that he doesn't have his helmet on all the way through. I imagine going forward, you're going to see him with it on.
You're sitting down to dinner with old friends. You're not going to wear your helmet.
Yeah, that's weird.
Dunk, dunk, dunk. Oh, dunk. Come on. People make too much of that. So far, when he's taken off his helmet, when he goes into combat, he puts his helmet on.
Yeah.
Like we're going into a dangerous situation, right? He went to meet his friend who left the army at one point, and he's hiding, so he goes to his friend he knows can help him out. And at first, there could be danger. So when he walks out of his ship, he has his full armor on, and he's ready to go when anything happens. And then he meets his friend, and everything calms down. That's when he takes his helmet off. It makes sense. Doesn't matter what... It doesn't... Hey, he doesn't take his helmet off in the game. Doesn't matter. You have to eat at some point. So, yeah. But this was a much more dramatic, talky episode than the first one. There
were still instances of...
action?
Of action and... Well, like when they were flying through the asteroid belt. Stuff like that, right?
And inside the prison cell.
Right? When you don't know who's going to jump out at you and stuff like that.
Oh,
right?
It's eerie.
There's things going on.
Yeah, you're in a prison cell, but no one's really locked in.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's not a prison. It's where they look after people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a people's zoo.
Who have some problems.
So we had an interesting location. We got to see more of the backstabby politics of the UNSC people. Yeah. We got to see more of the aliens and how they're going to respond to the artifact being taken by the UNSC. Yeah. There were lots of good things that happened.
We got explanation on why there was a human in that alien council, whoever that is. I forget their name.
We now know that Kwan Ha has a part to play in the series rather than just a teen being brought along for the ride.
Yeah.
She is apparently important, so says somebody. And I was a little concerned about where it was going at the end. Because I thought it was a weird thing to do for Master Chief to do.
Go back home? Go back to...
Well, yeah, he takes the artifact back to the people he was running away from.
Right.
When he realized that it possibly is a devastating weapon, and he doesn't want the other guys to get it, it would kill his own race.
But he already had a taste of emotion and a sense of betrayal when they said to off the little girl. And so he knows that the UNSC is not working in a moral place. And yet he goes back to them.
However, he's been trained or programmed, if you will, to trust the one scientist. And even at the end when he goes back, why did you come back? And because I didn't have anyone else that I knew I could trust except her. So he's not completely over all his programming. He's still a Spartan.
I think he got the girl to safety, and then he went back to do what he had to do.
Yeah. And so I enjoyed the episode. I didn't mind the talk parts. I didn't mind the interactions. I thought it brought out more about the character, more about the world.
It definitely furthered the story. So
what I'm concerned about is now we have two shows that we're actually enjoying at the same time.
Shh, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Now here's one thing that I thought the show was over. And then it continued for another 3 minutes. They have the scene where he first comes off the ship, and you see her pick up the artifact and drive away, and then you see the other scientist who's jealous, who wants more funding, and she's watching her, and then the Spartans are escorting him, and he's under arrest, and then all the soldiers are there, and they're dun-dun, 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 and it closes on his face. There's where you should end it. And then they went on for 3 minutes of her talking to him in the cell. That could have been the next episode. I think they ended it on a low note of just them talking nice and calm like this.
Well, no. They ended it with the awakening of Cortana.
A different cliffhanger. You wanted the more intense cliffhanger.
Well, it seemed like the best place to end it when they were building up the music and the tempo. And this is, look, guys, what's going to happen? He's under arrest now. He's back. What's happening? What's happening? And then they continued. And I know what happens now. And it was disappointing.
True, but we also know that the importance of this new clone experiment that she's been going on. And now, it's awake. You know, so it's a different cliffhanger.
But it wasn't as... It just didn't seem like a big cliffhanger to me, like as if they would have ended on the other spot.
Right.
It just seemed to build up that.
Had they have given some good music when she woke up, that might have done it for you.
Because right now, we know that that clone is there, but we don't know what it does.
Yeah, and
Right?
now, for the next episode, we're going to find out.
Okay, it's just, I thought you don't build up that big departure from the ship like it was.
It's supposed to be next level Spartan.
I know what it's supposed to be, but we could have started learning about that in the next episode. Ended on that what's going to happen note. Now we've already had the conversation. And I know what's going to happen, in a way. So, yeah, it was a weird spot to end, considering the way they did the big build-up.
Okay.
It's almost like two different people filmed two different scenes, and they like this. Anyway, but either way, I'm liking Halo.
Yeah.
Sorry, all you people out there who hate it because it's not the game. And I understand, because I play some games like I said, World of Warcraft, and then I saw the World of Warcraft movie, and it wasn't terrific. And it wasn't exactly what I was hoping it would be.
I guess it's got to be hard, though, for the gamers that have become so invested in the story of the game.
Well, just look what happened to She-Ra, the cartoon on Netflix. Like, it was such a big departure.
Or He-Man, even.
It was such a big departure from the original She-Ra that people just went berserk and hated it.
Yeah.
But it was She-Ra inspired.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's rough when you see something you love changed into Star Wars.
Change for people that aren't the
Last
fans.
Jedi, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I know exactly how you feel. So, but lucky for us, we didn't play the game, so we could actually enjoy the show. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Be nice if you're a gamer. We understand. We're just saying we actually seem to like the show so far. I'm not going to the bathroom today, everybody.
That's a new intro.